Okay, so in honor of the Dodgers being in the World Series, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm a Dodgers fan. I could care less about football or the Lakers. I used to be a Lakers fan. Oh, I'm sorry, my Canadian friends. I'm sure that um, you are not loving the Dodgers right now. Um, you're leaving now because I don't love football. It is funny. Hey, listen, I live in the South. Like that's like a whole culture down here. Oh, Dodgers. That's all right. It's okay. I know there are a lot of Dodger haters, but it was so fun when I was in California a couple weeks ago. I got to go to two of the playoff games against the Phillies, and it was so much fun. And my parents are at the World Series games today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. Like, you guys are unbelievable. But anyway, so we're going to talk about Ohtani because they're saying that Ohtani is the best baseball player ever. And one of the reasons is because not only is he a phenomenal hitter, but he's even better at pitching, which is unheard of, right? And he's breaking all kinds of records. Even last night he broke a record that hadn't been broken since like 1906, something insane. So, if you don't like baseball, I apologize. If you hate the Dodgers, I apologize just a little bit. But he was on the Angels for a little bit. But he's definitely someone that we can learn from, right? Like, yes, exactly. You got to give respect where it's deserved. That's for sure, because this guy, and I love his humility. That's one of the things that I love. So, we're going to talk about the Ohtani way, okay? So, greatness starts on paper when Shohei Ohtani was just 18 years old. So, imagine yourself, where were you when you were 18? And before he stepped onto a professional baseball field, he's from Japan, if you guys didn't know that. He did something remarkable. He sat down and created what he called his chart of dreams, which I love this so much, his chart of dreams. And at the top of the paper, he wrote his ultimate goal: become the best baseball player in the world. And you know what? That's what they're saying. He's the best in the world, the best to ever play the game. But he didn't stop there. He listed the exact steps it would take, his daily training routine, his nutrition, his mindset. I want you guys to really hear this list, okay? Daily training routines, his nutrition, his mindsets, and even how he would handle criticism and failure. Dude, at 18, he wrote this down. Right next to that, he wrote out the character traits he needed to develop: patience, gratitude, humility, and perseverance. And that's something that all of us, imagine had we started Plexus, how we would handle failure and criticism. I know when I first started Plexus, I would literally shut down, right? Like I would shut down when I would get a no because somehow I thought it was about rejecting me rather than actual products. So at 18, he was able to do that. Um, and he didn't have fame, he didn't have proof. He just had a vision and a willingness to work for it every single day. Fast forward to today. Ohtani is a global superstar doing what no one else in history has done, being both an elite pitcher and a powerhouse hitter. So that's why he's unreal. He's breaking records, inspiring millions, and redefining what's possible when someone commits fully to their calling. When you go to Dodgers games, there's Ohtani jerseys everywhere. They showed last night schools of children watching Ohtani in the World Series at their schools, even though, the time difference is so different. So he definitely is a powerhouse in all the ways. Um, but you know what I love most? He didn't wait for the spotlight. He trained like a champion when no one was watching. He believed the vision that God placed in him before anyone else saw it. So at 18, he wrote down that chart of dreams. So, what we're going to talk about is the vision that Habakkuk, whoever can say that, you can just chime in. Habakkuk, right? Anybody know there's Bible? Habakkuk. 2:2, it says, write the vision and make it plain on tablets that he may run who reads it. So that's exactly what Otani did. Okay. He wrote the vision and make it plain. So guess what your call to action is going to be? We'll talk about it later, but get ready. So Otani, that's exactly what he did and what we're called to do. When we write our vision, we're partnering with God's plan for our life. And we're saying, Lord, I'm serious about what you've placed in me. So I'm assuming that if you're showing up for Power 30, that you're serious about this plexus thing, right? Like I know so many of you and so many of your whys, but showing up and writing out your vision. So whether you believe in Habakkuk, guys, I got like not very much sleep the last 2 nights. But if you don't even believe that verse, then I'm telling you, you'll want to write this out. Okay. So the Otani mindset is what greatness really looks like is Otani didn't just hope for greatness, he planned for it. He saw it before it happened. In Plexus, that means having a clear picture of your diamond journey. I hope and pray that your journey, the destination is diamond, because it should be. Because what happens is if it's anything smaller than that, that just means that you're holding back your team, right? Like I know when I first started, I'm like, dude, Ruby, senior Ruby, like that would be great. If I could just get there, it'd be great. But I was putting a cap on, that was my leadership live. That was putting a cap on the people on my team, right? So now I'm like 15-star diamond because I want everybody that wants to do this business on my team. I want them to hit their goals and hit the top of the company. Why would I shoot for anything less? So we have to think about why this matters and who it impacts and how it honors God. So he trained, he had discipline. Otani had discipline. We got to talk about that because it's a real thing. He trained when others rested. He said no to distractions because he knew what he was saying yes to. And I know that Alita talks about it all the time. What are you willing to say no to? Right? What are you making space for? If you had 100 people join your team this month, would you have space for them in your life? So that's a real thing. Our daily IPAs, our follow-ups, our stories and messages, that's our version of batting practice, okay? So those are the things that we should do daily. IPAs, impact our income producing activities, follow-ups, stories, and messages. Got it? So one of the cool things about Otani is, now I don't know him personally. I've never had a conversation with him. Have I talked to Kershaw? Yeah, a little bit. But Otani, I've never met. So I don't know if his humility is real, but it appears to be, right? He really appears to be a humble, gentle soul. So he trained, even after massive success, Otani remains humble and grateful. He constantly credits his teammates and coaches. Likewise, we win together every order, every rank up, every conversation. It's teamwork and grace, right? Like just knowing that, like one thing I love about our Plexus Diamonds, they're very real and they're humble and they know where the success came from. And even last night after the game, I stayed to watch the post-game interviews and they interviewed Otani and they asked him about, these records that he was breaking, all this stuff. And, he's like, I just want to go to bed so we can win tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Like he really doesn't put so much emphasis on the fact that he was on base 7 times last night. Like definitely a World Series history, right? Record. So we too need to just show up in Plexus with that same humility, and know where that gift comes from. My mouth is so dry for some reason. Okay, so how are we going to bring the Otani mindset into Plexus? Step 1, you're going to write your game plan out, okay? Just like Otani's Chart of Dreams, write your Plexus vision. And if you haven't done it in a while, do it again. Because sometimes it evolves. Sometimes that change is exactly what the kick in the pants that we need to get remotivated or to light that fire again. So write that down. And where do you want to be 1 year from now? 5 years? And what kind of mom, dad, leader, friend, and ambassador will you be when you get there? What is it going to look like? How are you going to handle rejection and failure? I love that. I love that Otani wrote that in his chart. How do you want to show up for your business? What does that look like? What does the best version of you look like when you're working your business? So write out, so it's the end of October. Go ahead and write out what you want, how you want to finish this month. So we have 3 days left. That's a lot of time, especially during Magic Week. You just never know. And I can tell you already twice yesterday, I got messages, someone that used to do Plexus years and years ago saying, I want to sign up again. You know what I mean? Like I messaged her and, periodically, yes, but she hasn't ordered in over 2 years. She wants to sign up. Would I expect her to sign up? Just came out of the blue. That's why they call it Magic Week. You just never know where the orders are going to come from, who's going to reach out to you and say, hey, I've been watching your stuff. I want to sign up. Drop a one if you have experienced that in your business during Magic Week, where it just comes out of the blue. So let's make sure that you guys show up this week and um, be available, right? Like have your head in the game so that when you're ready for it, that you're posting so people think, oh yeah, I do want to do Plexus, and now might be the perfect time. And with the free shipping, because her first question was, are there any specials for new ambassadors? I said, what? Yes, there is. Thank you, Plexus, right? Free shipping for the next 3 months. So just be ready for that. We're going to practice daily champions because they don't win from random effort. They win from consistent habits. So show up, do the things. I want you to pick 5 daily Plexus actions to post, follow up, share a story, connect, and learn, because greatness isn't glamorous, it's consistent. And you know what I love is you keep hearing over and over that success comes from the things that were unseen. And it's just the truth. So you got to stay in the season. You guys lean into this last quarter of the year. First of all, we have our leaders retreat, right? Contest going on right now. We have typically November is just an incredible month for Plexus. So you got to stay in the season. So every athlete has seasons, an off season, a preseason, and in season. So some seasons are for growth and others for harvest. So don't quit in your growing season just because you can't see the scoreboard yet. And that's just the truth. Success in Plexus comes when you're willing to do the not so fun things over and over and over without seeing the success. You have to trust that process. So we are entering harvest season. November is going to be a harvest season. January, harvest season. So set yourself up for that success. So Otani once said, I just try to do my best with the abilities I've been given. So that's stewardship. We should say that same thing. And we all have different gifts. We all have things that we can bring to the Plexus table that others don't have. And I'm not going to look to my neighbor and think, oh, they do that better than me, or man, I wish I could be like them. It's like, let's remember that we bring our own gifts to the table, and I want you to lean into it and perfect it and make it your superpower. Okay, so that's stewardship. We have been given this business and your voice to bless others and make impact in their life and to serve others boldly can be a testimony, right? Like, let your success be your testimony. And who knows who you'll be leading along the way. So we're going to take the Otani challenge. It's a perfect time. Dodgers need to win 2 more games to win this World Series. So I want you to write your vision, your own chart of dreams, and go ahead and write chart of dreams. What does that look like for me? And track those 5 intentional Plexus actions daily. And then share your wins with your team. Because what you do and the victories that you share, they're going to inspire other people. They just will. Because celebrating progress fuels momentum. If you're sending messages, take a screenshot, and send it to your team and say, look what I'm sending today. Oh, I've sent out my 5 messages. So you don't need to have it all figured out, guys. You don't need to have to figure out, oh, I need to do this before I'm able to do it the Otani way and take this Otani challenge. You need to just start swinging, start showing up, being consistent. Your habits, your heart, and your faith will do the heavy lifting. You don't have to stress about it, right? Like there's no pressure. There's no pressure. This is fun. Like we're here to make an impact in people's lives and to serve others. Otani didn't wait for perfect conditions, and neither should we. Just start. If you're like, man, I've really blown it this month, show up today. You have 3 full days. That's weeks during Magic Week. That's a week's worth of time. Seriously. But you got to show up and be consistent and show up with strength and with fire. So you were made for greatness in this. There's a reason why you're here. So step up to the plate this week and give your best. Because when faith meets discipline, miracles can happen. It's miracle week. It's magic week. Do we believe in magic? No, but you just never know what's going to happen. So I love this quote from Abraham Lincoln, and then I'm going to close, and then you guys can start messaging. Discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want most. So what do you want most? Do you want the lack of discipline now of turning on the TV or scrolling on your phone rather than messaging? Because that's sometimes discipline is not fun. I'm not the biggest fan of discipline, but I can tell you it is worth it every single time. So, what do you want most? Write that out in your chart of dreams, lean into it, put it up where you can see it every single day, because truly that's going to make a difference. And you have to know where you're going, right? You got to have that vision in front of you to know where you're going. And then ask your team, what is their vision? We're not here just to serve ourselves, we're here to serve them. So figure out what is their vision? How can you encourage them? And I can tell you, one of the best things that you can do for your team is to find out what their why is so that on those tough days, you can remind them, you can point them back to what their vision is. So if you show up these next 3 days, I can promise you it will make a difference in your business. So let's do this. Let's finish this month out strong and let's go kill it. Thanks for hopping on, you guys. Love you guys.